Hi, everybody. This is Dominique with Black Girl Reviews, and today I am happily reviewing Atlanta Housewives, Real Housewives of Atlanta, actually, season 15, episode 1. Who gonna check my new boo? Okay, so I'm gonna be looking down at my notes as I go. So if you ever see me look down, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so my first thought about the title of the show is, like, I think it's cute, but the fact that it has to do with Martell Holt is really throwing me off. Like, it's taken away from the cuteness of the show to making it just feel like, like. But okay, let's get right into the episode. It opens up with this 40 old vintage filter going on and showing what happened at Ross' party. It was a cute little opening to get you ready for what's about to happen in the end of the episode. One of those little Shonda Rhimes flash forward, then flashback. So we're gonna flashback about what it was, 4 days after the incident, and it opens up with it opens up with Sheree at her house, and it flashes back 4 days earlier from the party at Ross's event. And they have Sheree in a two-piece black workout suit, which I think it was She by Sheree that she was wearing, which was cute. It was cute, I can't lie. Sheree looked great in her little outfit, and she's pacing back and forth in the kitchen, waiting on Martell to show up. So Martell shows up in this white suit with this black trim on the suit, looking very costume. I rent this for this moment type. Sheree walks to the door and she opens the door, and of course, it's Martell. He greets her and he walks in, and she's all giggly or whatever. And Sheree says that she sees Martell every week, which I find very interesting when he is really fighting his wife over having too many babysitters. How are you seeing Martell every week? That doesn't make sense to me. But I digress and keep it pushing, especially when, he has 5 kids. So they must be in a relationship through the phone, because that's the only way I can think that she sees him every week. She also says that she wants him to move closer, even though he has 5 kids, 2 baby mamas, an ex-wife, that situation. Then we flash back to the moments of the experience that she has with Tyrone. Okay, she talks about how Tyrone was a felon, and what she say? Tyrone was a felon. It was the worst experience. And then they asked her, is she in love with Martell? And she said, I didn't say that. Okay. Then she starts stumbling over her words with the producer, and it's not helping me to believe that, she's in love with Martell, which I know she's not. Come on now. I'm pretty sure they probably broken up by now that the show has ended. And then Sheree has a surprise with for Martell, which was a chef. Martell didn't seem too impressed with the chef. He was expecting a little more, whatever that means. Sheree talks about getting invited to Ross's birthday party. She talks about that it's a Harlem Nights party, and I wrote down that it was from 8 to midnight. I don't know why. Martell asks who's going to be at the party, like he doesn't watch the show. Sheree says, all the girls, like Candy, and then she size eye. Okay. And then Martell looks goofy while he's eating. He just like, okay. And then he says, apparently Candy calls Martell an opportunist. And the producer flashback to when Candy said this in a interview before filming, or probably before filming. And then what she said was, he's using her for publicity, which I agree with Candy. He is using her for publicity. I feel like it's a PR stunt. It's not giving me this is a real relationship. I'm just not buying it. And then Martell says, Candy husband Todd is an opportunist. And then Sheree says, oh, oh, like he just said something so profound, or he did that. Like Todd is not an opportunist. Okay, but anyways, and then he says, and this is all going on while the chef is preparing this delicious looking meal. She had some salmon on top of some potatoes with this creamy, buttery spinach sauce that she was dripping on top. It was looking so good. Okay, I got distracted. I paused it to take some notes, and it paused right on that scene. Okay, then Martell says, isn't Candy and Todd like 3 feet tall? And Sheree was like, girl, please, you did not find that funny. Stop it. Please stop it. Then he asked if she talked to Kenya. He brought up Kenya first, mind you. Okay. Sheree said yes, and she thinks that Kenya will be excited to see Martell. That's what I meant to write. Okay. Because every text she gets from Kenya is, oh, how's Martell doing? I noted when I was writing the notes was Kenya wanted to see if Sheree was really going to keep this relationship going during filming, because this is the first episode, first taping of the season. So she probably was thinking, I wonder if this girl is still dating Martell and she gonna really film with this man. That's what I got. Then then Martell tells Cherie that he never met Kenya, with a little smirk. I don't think I ever met Kenya before. Like, what are you smirking for? What are you smirking for? But we all know why. Okay. Then they walk off to the bedroom. All right, moving on. We're moving on to Candy. Candy title card looked fabulous. I didn't pay attention to Sheree's title card. I started paying attention once Candy got on screen. Candy looked great. Candy was looking fabulous in this cream dress with the big hair. Candy looks great with the big hair. Okay, so Candy's at the Candy Coated Factory, and she's having a meeting with the Candy Coated Clique, Don Juan and Carmen. Um, And then they ask Carmen, how's everything? And Carmen says, everything's going good. Business is great. And then they flash back to 6 years ago with the Candy Coated Click. And so then Don Juan asks Candy if she talked to Sheree. And Candy said no. Then they talked about She by Sheree with the no fashions. Fashion show with no fashions, darling, and how disappointed it was that her website had no inventory. And I heard about this. I personally did not try to shop on her website. I'm just, I don't really wear athletic wear like that. If I do, it's Nike. I'm sorry, She by Sheree. You understand though, right? So then, House of Aaron, he's a YouTuber on here. I follow him. Y'all go follow him. House of Aaron made an appearance, and his website. I mean, he said that the website was shut down. He said the website was shut down, honey. And then Sheree said in her confessionals that she had too many people on her website and the site crashed. But if you know and you on Twitter, you know the site did not crash. She just she didn't have no inventory. And then when she did, people started calling her out about it being like she in Amazon type wear. Okay. Then Candy said she tried to help Sheree so many times, but she would never pay people, and she's never prepared. And we all know that she doesn't pay her people. She doesn't pay people, so she tried to get it cheap or free, allegedly. And then Candy Coded Nights is coming back. Ace said that she works too much, and he's a 6 year old. So a 6 year old told her she works too much and she needs to get that together. Kenya shows up to Candy's office in this cute little Louis Vuitton little fit. Manetta Shaw. Was that Shaw? That's her last name, Shaw? Manetta. I'm just calling her Manetta. Shows up in her little, her little outfit, little white tee with cutouts on the side and a Kango brown hat cocked to the side a little bit, looking like a little. Let me be quiet. I'm trying to keep it nice. Um, Candy says she's still mad at Mangetta from last season when she was hanging out with Marlo and kikiing with her, trying to get the side of the story. And Mangetta said, "What did she say?" Mangetta said she was sorry in her confessionals, and she said that she was looking for both sides of the story. She was looking for camera time. Monyetta hooked Kenya up with a guy, and she's crazy about him right now. Kenya is. Kenya said he made her feel like a woman again. Okay. She started feeling on her body. If I can remember, she was feeling on her body. Apparently, the beef between Candy and Sheree is because Candy is doing those voiceovers on Instagram and TikTok of the show, and she did like the little shady voiceover about Sheree always saying that Candy's always talking about her or whatever, silly stuff. Candy. Then they switched over. Candy was being petty, Betty. That's what Candy said, and she was doing what Sheree does to her. Apparently, I don't know, and I guess Sheree is petty too, according to Candy. Do I think Sheree's petty too? Let me think. She can be. She can be petty. She can be petty. I think dating Martell is petty, but I don't know. Then they switch over to talking about Martell and what the streets be talking about. Okay, they talking about the streets saying that Martell is in these ATL streets with another woman. Okay. Kenya said Martell reached out to her in the DMs on Instagram and tried to lightweight try to talk to her. And I believe it. I believe it. I can't see Kenya making up that story just to get back at Martell. I mean, it's possible. I don't want to not, I don't want to pick sides on that situation because once Kenya pulled up her phone because Candy told her, show me, let me see the DMs," and Martell deleted them allegedly. Um, she didn't get with Martell because pretty much he got too many kids. Got 5 kids. Okay. Todd feels neglected. This is what Candy's saying, and he feels like Candy never makes time for his projects. Maybe he feels like she's not making time for his projects, so now he's getting more projects and acting like he don't have time for her. Kind of like get back or whatever. But Candy says she doesn't have time to be producing his other movies, and they're not agreeing on business. And she feels like he's doing things to make her be the problem, and I can see that. I can see that. Like I said, I feel like this get back. Sonia shows up in her title card, with a sparkly one shoulder dress from what I can see, unless her hair is covering up the other shoulder. It's like a sparkly one shoulder dress, and I said when I was typing up my notes, I said the dress was given Shein, which is not a bad thing. My dress isn't Shein, so I'm just saying the dress was given Shein. Okay, so they open up with Ross and Sonya in the kitchen, and Ross is trying on her new clothing brand while the whole family is entering the kitchen and staring at them. Okay, pretty much in her house right now is her mom, her dad, her sister, her brother-in-law, her sister and brother-in-law's 2 kids, Ross and her 6-year-old son. They all in one house. They talk about the party and how fine Ross is for a 40-year-old, and he feels pressured of and she feels pressure to show off her party and spend a little money for real this time because of the last party she threw. It was giving cheap, it was giving house party, it was giving regular, if that makes sense. And we're not watching this Housewives for regular Degular. We watching it for the luxury. Well, I am. I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I am. Um, Sonia is taking care of her whole family and feel the pressure of supporting them. Her sister said that she has no boundaries and she has no time schedule, and she gave an example saying that when she was doing track, she had a schedule, but now that she's doing the show, she pretty much doesn't have a schedule. I'm pretty sure they film all types of hours. She said that, for example, she would come home at 11 o'clock and be wanting her sister to do her hair and take off the wig out of her hair. And her sister feels like, no, it's late. Like, I got two kids. Okay, so my opinion on this. I understand the sister. Everybody wants a set schedule when it comes to work. Who doesn't? Who just wants to wake up? Well, some people do. Some people don't mind. But who really wants to wake up not knowing what's going on in their lives, especially having two kids and whatnot? Okay. But I also see Sonia's point of view like, girl, I'm taking care of you. You're living in my house with your two kids and your husband. Y'all all work for me. Your husband is now working for me. She said her husband is now the assistant, you know. Her husband is the assistant. Um, and her mom and dad is the manager, and her sister is her hairstylist. They all work for her, so she's taking care of them, financially, and she's taking care of them, and they're living in her house. So I feel like, girl, if that's your job, she never said, granted, she never said if she had any other jobs besides doing Sonia's hair. She could be a hairstylist for some other people or have a day job that they're not speaking about because it has nothing to do with the storyline. But if that's your job, just do your job. I don't see why there's an issue with that. So they have a small scene with Kenya and Brooklyn playing around with dresses. It was so cute. Then they have another small scene with Marlo picking out a dress for the party. It was all right. Candy and Todd are at home with the kids and they're arguing about family time. Todd wants to finish the script that he's doing, and the acting that they were giving in that scene was giving scripted to me. It was giving scripted. I'm doing trying to finish this script. Well, I want family time. That's what it was giving. So then we move on to Marlo house. She had a little cute little title card. It was all right. It wasn't giving much. It was a cute little fashion over dress. The boys cooked for Marlo Taco Tuesday. Then Marlo said that the boys are going to be at her house forever. Then Miss Sharon, their life coach, shows up and give Marlo some tips on how to be a better mom and a better auntie. Okay, AKs, don't say that you're going to kick the boys out and you're done. Okay. Next, we're moving to Sheree's house, and she's in another cute little pink little workout set. And before they even showed the price of it, I figured it was She by Sheree because she's trying to push She by Sheree. Then Shady Bravo puts up how much the outfit costs. It said it was $274. Girl, with that little two piece that you can get from Fashion Nova, Amazon overnight, because no telling how long it's going to take for you to ship out the product to the people. Okay. Girl, I put girl bye. Okay, on my notes. All right, so she opens the door for Sonia. Sonia's hyping her up, saying she looks good, which she does. That's no lie. She looks really good. Okay. She telling her, do a spin, do a spin. So Sheree and Sonia go fake workout. Sheree house looks great. And her body looks amazing. I wrote that in my notes. And then Sonia feels Sheree in on the stress that she's having with her work-life balance, with her family being her employees, pretty much. Before she can even get the whole story out, the doorbell rings. Sheree leaves Sonia down there in the basement to go answer the door for Courtney. Courtney is the new girl. Courtney got on these thigh high boots that come all the way up to her thigh and a little baggy with some booty shorts and a little tank top, like a cream tan tank top, and a little shawl over her. She was cute for the moment. It was, I liked her energy. She dropped it low for the cameras. She was ready. She said that she's a marketing consultant and she owns a jewelry brand. And she was like, "I got all my jewelry right now. You want to see? You want to see?" Okay. And then Sheree said she invited Courtney to Sonia's birthday party, with Sonia's husband's birthday party. Then Sonia name drops the people who was gonna be there, and then she was like, and then Drew rolls her eyes. And then they flash back to all of the bad moments of her and Drew and what happened last season. And she says, "Well, Drew's husband RSVP." So I didn't know why that was. I didn't understand the point of her saying that part. And then she goes into Candy's invited, and then Courtney cuts her off when she said Candy's invited. She jumps in and she's like, "Candy seems cool, and they been in similar circles, but Candy was calling around asking somebody if I was going around saying that I was her friend." So, okay, why do I believe that you probably was going around saying that you was Candy friend just to get on the show? Okay, I kind of believe that. And then she said, if she was worldwide, then why would she care? What you mean? Why would she care? Why would she not care? You going around, you hear from the grapevine. I'm pretty sure somebody ringed her phone. Was like, "Bring Candy, girl, do you know this girl in the Courtney?" And she was like, "No, I don't know Courtney." And then they was like, "Well, she going around saying that she your friend." Like, I would be like, "What? What was this? I don't know this girl." But anyways, talking about why would she care? Okay, so then Sheree said Candy got a lot of time on her hands to make memes and talk about her. She feels some type of way because she talked about her in the memes and then on TikTok. And then Sheree said she's enjoying herself with Martell and they're dating with intentions. Please. Okay. Moving on, because I don't really care about Sheree and Martell. Then the day of the party, Sonia says that her budget was 40K, but now that the Bravo checks are clearing, the party is 100K. Okay, girl. All right. So Martell and her friend, I'm sorry, Marlo and her friend are at her house, and they talking about Candy and the memes. I'm like, oh Lord. So that's what the storyline is going to be about. Everybody's mad at Candy and the memes. Okay. And then how she doesn't have a problem with it, but it seems like since Broadway isn't sticking and it's not working and singing is not working, she better stick to TikToking pretty much. And then Sonia says Ross's party seems like the Met Gala. It's like the Black Met Gala. All right, finally, we are at the party. Kenya shows up looking great, looking fabulous in her little cut bob and B.O.B. So they call you Bob. And then, so she shows up to the party. She was scared. She said last year the party was cheap. It was giving cheap. So the bar for Sonia's party is on the flow, pretty much on the flow. But when she walked in, she did say the party was cute. They had a little hallway with the lights, and she was getting her little TikTok on. And then Ralph shows up. I noticed that I did not see Drew on his arm. So when he RSVP'd for himself, he really did RSVP for himself. So Ralph showed up solo dolo, and then Kenya introduced him to her friend Akila. I think she's gonna be making more appearances. Monyetta and her husband was lurking in the background, like, "Oh, camera's over there." Okay. Kenya asked Ralph the question that I wanted to know: "Where's your wife?" Ralph said, "Oh, she wasn't feeling good. Oh, and it was a family emergency." I didn't believe him, but Ralph made sure that he got his camera time. So you know. Then Candy shows up with Todd, and then Candy said that Sonya. It seems like Sonya put a lot of money into this party, and it was she leveled up. You know. Marlo shows up next with her Rihanna inspired diamond ball dress with the little do rag cap on. Courtney shows up next. Marlo is having a good time playing some card games. Next, Sheree shows up with Martell and the party. Everybody's like, oh, everybody turning their head. They little head turn. Okay. Kenya says Sheree is the girl of the hour. And Candy looked at her like, she ain't my girl in the hour. Girl, please. So they thought that was a little kiki. And then Courtney and Ralph are cousins out of nowhere. Oh, did you not know that me and Ralph is cousins? And me and Candy is friends. And me and Sheree is friends. Girl. Okay. Sonya and Ross arrives, and it was a big to do, you know. And then in the background, Bravo got, it's a house party. It's a house party. I don't know why. Then they had the fireworks, and then Sonya did a speech. From what I could see, when they did the pan around the crowd, it was not giving Black Met Gala, but it was still cute for what it was. Everyone does they fake. Oh, hello. Give me a kiss. Hello. Give me a kiss. Hello. And then they started talking about Martell in their confessionals. Kenya says, why is he here on her arm? Candy says, last year Sheree was with Mr. Community Service. This year she's with Mr. Community Property. That was cute. That was like a boom boom, you know. Sonya said, at least he doesn't have an ankle bracelet on. So she can, you know, she thinks that's an upgrade, pretty much. Um, Candy greets Sheree. They do that fake talking through their teeth and close and grin like, hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm doing good. It's weird. And then Kenya asks Martell and Sheree, are they official? And Martell's like, yes, we official now. While Sheree just standing there, idiot, just grinning. And then she gives Kenya a look like, and Kenya's like, girl, what you looking at me like that for? And Sheree said, cause you up to something. And Martell said, she always ready for something. In the background with they fake laughing. And then Sheree said in her confessional that Kenya needs to mind her business. Um, Kenya is so nosy, and she needs to stop worrying about her and worry about Mark and if he's gonna take more manner in a divorce settlement, and hopefully he adds baseboards. Okay. Kenya said in her confessional, Sheree needs her own show, Me Dating Those Dumb Dudes. Courtney retells the story to Candy, saying that they were friends, and Marlo is excited that the drama doesn't involve her, and she's ready to sip the tea, though, especially because the tea is about Candy. Marlo still don't like Candy. The show comes back on with Martell saying hi to Ross, and then Candy brings up the fact that she knows another lady in the ATL that he actually be kicking it with. Kenya said, it's about the D, then let it be about the D. Telling Candy, like, you know, Sheree just, you know, it's all about the D. It ain't got nothing to do with, you know, a real relationship, pretty much. In other words, without breaking, you know, the fourth wall, it's about the show, you know, in the D. It's not about, you know, long lasting relationship. Candy said, what if it's not about the D? And maybe he told her already. Monietta said, well, I'm gonna find out. And okay, Monietta, you got your feet in the mud this season. Okay. Sheree introduced Kenya to Courtney, and Candy follows right behind her. And then Courtney explains how she know. Kenya asks Courtney, "How do you know Sheree?" And then Kenya asks to talk to Sheree for a second, and like a ghost, Martell just pops out of nowhere, like he literally popped out of nowhere right when she asked her, "Can I talk to you for a second?" Here's Martell lurking in the background trying to hear what's going on. Martell starts to stutter and asks Sheree, "Oh, is she said she said she wanted to talk, have a side conversation with you. She said she wanted to have a side conversation with you." I'm like, why are you stuttering like that, boy? I do not understand. Um, then Sonia introduces Candy to Courtney. Candy said that she seen her once before. Like, so he was like, "Oh, have you met Courtney before?" And Candy was like, "Oh yeah, I think I've seen her maybe once." And then Courtney was like, instead of saying, "Oh yeah," keeping the conversation going, she turns to Sonia and was like, "Oh, so how are you feeling today? And how's the party? Did you think that did it come out the way that you wanted to come out?" And Candy was looking like, "Girl, did you try to just ignore what I was just talking about?" Like, and then Monietta says to Sonia, she redeemed herself with this party, which is true. The party looks great. She redeemed herself from the jerk chicken and the beef patties, which I probably would have took a whole tray of beef patties home, but we already know it was probably frozen beef patties. I doubt that anybody actually cooked the beef patties, but that's allegedly. Courtney addresses Candy and said that her friend called her and asked if she said that, you know, that she was going around saying that they were friends. Candy said she knows the lady Dina that asked her if she knew Courtney, and she said she didn't, and she literally doesn't know anyone else that knows her, and that's not any shade. It's facts. Okay, in Candyland, that's shade because Candy knows everybody. Candy is known to know everybody in Atlanta and who the who's who, the movers and shakers. If Candy don't know you, then 9 times out of 10, you're just like me. She don't know you. Okay. All right. So then she said Candy felt the energy coming from Courtney and asked her, "Girl, what's this energy coming from?" Because she already ignored her on the first conversation. Now she coming with this rah rah, and then Candy was like, "Can you turn it down? Can you bring that back, please? Bring it back. Turn it down. The energy needs to be on another level." Courtney said some BS, and she said her energy is not crazy. Monietta asked Sheree if her and Martell is serious because her and Candy both heard that he was dating someone in Atlanta. Sheree said now Monietta wants to have, oh, she said in her confessional, "Oh, now Monietta wants to have a voice because last year she barely said any 2 words to me," which is kind of true. She was learning. She was trying to understand. Oh, and then Sheree said, "And if Martell wants to cheat on me, that he's downgrading. I'm like a Ferrari. He's going to be downgrading to a Toyota," which is true. Which is true. Okay. And then she said, meanwhile, after that, oh, and so the girl, Monietta was like, because Sheree said, Who is it? And Monietta backtracked and was like, "Oh, I didn't see her. I didn't see her. Candy saw her." And so now Sheree like, "Oh, I need to speak to Candy because I need to see who she talking about." Meanwhile, across the party, Courtney and this made up beef that she has with Candy is still trying to explain herself and why she has a problem with Candy. Candy said she saw the pics on her IG and asked Dana, "Do you know her?" She said she needs to back and give me 50 feet. Marlo in the cut listening like, "Girl, y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this?" I know y'all hear this. Marlo just happy. It ain't got nothing to do with her. She didn't bring the mess to nobody. Sonia stops the argument and said, "It seems like Courtney, you do have this energy and to Candy, and it seems like you do have a problem with Candy." And Candy made a face like, "Oh, so you kind of," I think Candy putting all the little pieces together and like, "Oh, so you are going around acting like you got plex with me." Okay. So then Courtney gives a fake apology, says, "Oh, well, I apologize. Well, I apologize, but Sonya, you blah 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 blah." She all in Sonya's face, telling, "But if Sonya, if you are you if you doing this and you doing that and then you doing this and I'm not the one that's looking for clout and looking at Candy." And Candy was like, I didn't say you was clout chasing. I didn't say that you was clout chasing. So where is this clout coming from? Candy said there that she's gonna pop her in the forehead, and you got a problem because I never said you had you was chasing clout. Marlo got in front of them, got a front row seat of the drama, and she just eating it up, eating it up. She like, ooh, girl, is this how it is when Candy got a problem with me? Is she going off on me? Dang, girl. But she enjoying it. It has nothing to do with her, which I understand because you don't want to be in drama all the time, and who don't want to see firsthand drama that's not. Look, I'm doing it. I'm looking. I got firsthand drama that has nothing to do with me. So I can only imagine if you was in the room and you was just right in the mix and you just like, ooh, okay. So then then Kenya tells Sheree that she didn't she that he did try to slide in her DMs. And so Sheree was like, "Oh, let me see then. Show me, show me." She was confident. She was like, "Oh, show me." Like if she knew already firsthand that he was trying to talk to Kenya, but he deleted it. And then she just was hoping that Kenya didn't take screenshots, which Kenya should have took screenshots. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure when he did try to slide in her DMs, he was not talking to Sheree at the time. So she probably didn't think, oh, let me take a screenshot to have in my back pocket. What? So Kenya, I think Kenya knew she wasn't gonna win the argument when she asked, "Let me show me," because the DMs deleted. So she was just like, "But girl, I'm not really trying to show you all this, and girl, it's really." She really was trying to like turn this conversation away from her wanting to see the DMs. And then in her confession, was like, "Girl, what I look like fighting this right next to me," which I don't like that. Like, you got to come up with better shade. And then that's when the episode ended. I just feel like my pretty much my over review of the episode. It was a good way to start the season. I'm excited to see the girls fight and argue. I'm not gonna lie. I liked Candy intro to the show. I don't like the new girl, Courtney. Like their storyline is stupid. Oh, Candy said that I'm not her friend, even though I'm not her friend. But did I say that? I could be. It could be. Girl, we over that. Sonia storyline is going to be very interesting. That's the one I'm really interested in to see where it develops. And then I can already see the cracks in Drew and Ralph's relationship with her not showing up to this party in line and saying that, oh, she's not feeling well. Oh, yeah. And she also has a family emergency. But I didn't need to be there. I can come to the party. I'm free. Um, for the episode, oh, and Marlo and her boys, as you saw, it was the notes was like this big for Marlo. You need to give more, Marlo. This whole I'm standing in the background, girl, and not getting involved in the drama is not working for me. I like Marlo, but I feel like it's gonna give the same old, you know? But I would give this episode, I give it a 9 out of 10. It was really good. It was really good. Okay, so if y'all can go ahead and subscribe and to my channel and like this video. This is my first review. I will be giving more content, more episode reviews of Real Housewives, and then my next review will be the Martha's Vineyard. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow and take my notes, and hopefully I can get the video uploaded tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching my first video on Black Girl Reviews. Black Girl Reviews on Twitter and Instagram. I do food reviews on Instagram and I do I will be tweeting right after I'm done with this video about Real Housewives of Atlanta and giving my take and dropping this video so people can follow me. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all in the next one.